Hi, this is Michael Oster, and in this short video I will demonstrate the key features of CurEx, a system for extracting, curating, and exploring domain-specific knowledge graphs. We start the demonstration with the entity view, which allows us to take a closer look at the entities in our graph. In this view, you can examine all entities and their properties. Since there can be millions of entities in a graph, it's of course possible to search for specific entities, for example, all entities that contain the name Volkswagen. The entity view can easily be extended by additional attribute columns. Here we add the column City and filter for Wolfsburg, which is where the headquarters of Volkswagen is located. Now we can easily find Volkswagen AG and explore its properties. Another feature is the graph view, which enables us to explore the relationships between entities. Let's say we want to inspect the relationships of the entity Volkswagen. Although we can display the relationships of an entity in the entity view, it's rather difficult to gain any real insights. Therefore, it's also possible to display an entity and its corresponding relationships as a graph. Here we see the entity Volkswagen with all its relationships. As you can see, you can still explore the properties of each individual entity. To get a better overview of the graph, you can hide entities from specific data sources as well as neighboring edges. In addition to entity properties, you can also view the properties of relationships. With a click on the Explore Neighbors button, you can further explore the graph by displaying the neighbors of the selected entity. The commit changes functionality allows us to bundle several changes to the knowledge base and apply them as a single unit of work. Let's say we change the number of employees and the general size of the Volkswagen entity. By pressing the Save button, we add an edit operation to the staging area in the upper right corner of the screen. Besides changing values, delete and create operations will also be added to the staging area. If we are sure that we want to apply the collected operations to the knowledge base, we click Commit. After the changes have been added to the knowledge base, we can confirm that the values have actually changed. This can also be seen in the graph view, where an entity with the changed values has been added as a new data source. In the History view, we can explore the changes made to the knowledge base. In addition to reviewing the changes of a single commit, we can reset the knowledge base back to a previous version and calculate the changes made between the current and any previous version of the knowledge base. As you can see, all changes to the knowledge base are recorded. The duplicate view allows us to examine the results of the deduplication process. By selecting R Stahl Supera in the left view pane, we see in the right pane that we have found one duplicate named R Stahl. If we now search for Deutschland and inspect the found duplicates, we see that we found 8 duplicates for the name Deutschland. The statistics overview allows us to analyze the deduplication process by displaying blocking statistics and performance metrics of the used similarity measure. The blocking statistics chart shows the block sizes of the blocks used during deduplication. Using the controls, we are able to exclude and filter out specific blocks. The display dots functionality makes it easier to inspect individual data points. All blocking runs are recorded so that you can also compare the current with the previous run. The similarity measure chart shows the precision, recall, and F1 scores of the classifier used for the deduplication. With the entity linking view, it is easy to examine the results of the used entity linker. Using this view, we can search for a document and see which text elements have been linked to which entities in the knowledge base. If an entity possesses an external link, it can easily be opened. Using the classifier statistics view, we can examine the performance metrics of the used entity linker. This chart allows us to analyze the performance of the entity linker by showing its precision, recall, and F1 values. As with the blocking statistics, the results of each training run are also recorded. The Entity Landscape Explorer makes it easy for end users to explore and work with the knowledge graph. The Entity Landscape Explorer allows users to search for specific entities and interactively explore both their network and properties. As you can see, we can also find the previously made changes. Since end users shouldn't be allowed to change the knowledge graph directly, they can submit change requests which can later be incorporated into the graph. We can start to explore the graph by double-clicking on an entity. By switching on the layout functionality, the graph is arranged in a user-friendly way. Let's examine the graph a little further. Since the labels are often a hindrance when viewing the entire graph, we can simply hide them. It is also possible to filter entities and relationships according to certain criteria. Here we add a filter that removes entities according to their number of employees. To gain a better overview, we can hide the Properties pane. By clicking on the icons in the upper right corner, we can also hide specific entities and relationships. Clicking on a relationship reveals its properties. This concludes our short CurEx demo. If you're interested in the project, you're welcome to visit the project's webpage. Thank you for watching.